Welcome to Cowboy Boys podcast. Returning guest from season one of the OG. I think you were the very first guest we ever had.
Aww.
Easily within the first 10 episodes of the first season. Irene Morales.
Woo! Beep, beep, beep,
Do you roll the R on the first R in Irene?
No.
But the second one, the last name. Morales. Irene Morales.
In Spanish, I just say Irene Morales. And yeah,
Irene?
Irene. That's how you say it in Spanish.
In Spanish, I'm Mock.
Sure.
Because they can't say Mac. The A doesn't exist in Espanol.
Oh, wow. And they don't even, and Arthur, it would be like Arthur. Does no one know that? Sorry.
What?
Do they know your full name? I didn't know.
Yeah, that's my full name.
No, okay,
Mac
but like
Arthur.
I don't know how cool you are. Maybe you're like not telling the kids.
That's my full name.
I know it's your full name.
That's my full name.
There's a boy at work who his name is like, it's something kind of like yours. It's like Mac Arthur or something, but he just goes by Mac, and he's very particular about like, don't say the other part. And I'm like, okay, you're just Mac.
I've met dozens of Macs in my life. And it was very disappointing all through childhood. We're like, whoa, you have the same name as me. And they're like, it's actually Mackenzie, or it's actually something. I'm like, oh yeah, you fucking phony. I'm the only one full on my birth certificate. MAC.
Baby. So then Arthur is technically your middle name.
No.
Oh, Arthur's your last name. That's right. Sorry. See, I had it saved wrong. I'm realizing that like the older I get, like, you know, when you just don't have like the memory, like the actual like space in your brain, like I just remembered it wrong.
What do you mean? You running out of memory?
For sure.
Or are you running out of recall?
Both. Yeah.
That's why I think
This is where your autism comes in. I'm sure you'll know better computer terms for like my fucked up brain.
I think everyone has. This is where I get into woo-woo science again.
I love it.
Where
I'm here for it.
I think everyone's brain, everyone has a Rain Man brain.
Oh, that's generous of you.
Where I think you remember most of like what has happened, but a lot of it is just like garbage. You're like, oh, I had eggs for breakfast, and so your brain doesn't mark it as important to remember.
Sure, yeah. Like I know I weighed myself this morning, but I'm like, what was it? Yeah.
Where if you see something that your brain is like, remember that forever. You see a hot pair of tits, or you're like, I need to remember that girl's phone number or something. And so like, I'm going to erase my baby's first step memory for a more important memory.
Tits.
Yeah. Then you're like, yeah, I remember that. I still can remember the most beautiful woman I ever saw was in a Sam's Club in Provo, Utah, back in probably 2014.
I believe it. So 10 years ago, the anniversary. Yeah. 10-year anniversary, baby.
And I just remember her walking. It was one of the few women where I'm just like, I see her and I'm like audibly like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like embarrassed because I can't stop. Like, and she's like, yeah, I get that all the time. And she's just wearing like, she looked like a.
Was she like Pam Anderson? Like how they discovered her at a hockey game or whatever it is?
Oh, did they?
You don't know that story?
No, I don't know that
story. Yeah. Pam Anderson was like at like a football game or something public, and she was just minding her own business being there. And then I guess they like put her on the Jumbotron and someone saw her. Now I'm like, maybe I'm getting the story wrong, but it's something like that. And yeah, she was like,
Pamela Anderson rules. She's all about freeing Julian Assange. And now he's free. Mission complete.
Woo,
Salute
she did it.
Pamela Anderson, one of the good celebrities.
With great tits.
Or so I'm told. I've never seen them. I would remember if I had.
I can't believe you're one of the few people on the planet who hasn't seen their sex. Not that I have, but I'm not a horn dog.
You're not?
I like forget. I feel like my Catholic upbringing like actually worked where I forget about porn. I just like.
You forget that exists?
I just forget that it's like, I don't know. Like I feel like when I was like single and at my horniest, I'd like find a GIF on Twitter and be like.
That would do it for you. I strive. I miss the innocence days.
Or are you one of these guys that now it's like unless someone's like choking, bleeding, coughing up? Oh, okay.
I'm still very
tame,
supremely vanilla, but
cool.
I can goon to vanilla for hours. You don't even know what gooning is.
No, I don't know.
Too innocent. Do you know what edging is?
Okay, you want to know the saddest thing?
Yes.
An Uber driver in LA had to tell me what edging was.
And he gave this information freely.
Well, this was in.
By the way, he was just like, you look.
No, I'm sorry. He was he was just like typical like freak show LA person, like ponytail. Oh, I got a script.
They're all creeps out there.
They're freaks.
LA, it's a city full of vampires.
Absolutely.
Literal vampires.
Yeah, yeah.
When I've always said, like, people are like, why'd you go to New York? I'm like, because for the 3 cities to do comedy, you have LA, New York, and I guess Austin now.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a choice when I moved out here.
Right. Yeah. Austin's like a new thing post-pandemic. People are going there to flee taxes.
And LA was like, it's all a bunch of like guys putting on like an act, like a goofy, like, oh, I'm a one-man show.
Yeah,
Look, I'm
totally.
acting out. I'm doing an
Kill
act.
yourself.
Like actors pretending to be like wacky. And I'm like, all right. And then New York was all about writing. I'm like, well, I don't want to be wacky, so I guess I'll work on writing. So I moved out here. And now Austin is like this pseudo, like not pseudo, but it's like edgy without any real cutting.
Consequence.
No, no consequence.
I feel like it's lawless down there. I feel like it's a bunch of white dudes being like, yeah. I don't know.
And I'm from 4chan and I love edge, and I'm like, it's not. There's no substance to their edge.
You need to tell them that you showed me 4chan.
Did I?
I didn't know what 4chan was. I feel like you probably showed me just before we recorded the first episode that I was on, or like another time that I was hanging out.
I don't know why I had to explain that to you.
Because I didn't know what it was. And you were kind and patient, and you were like, this is 4chan.
It's a really bad website. Maybe I could just explain whatever
it.
horrific concepts you've been curious about.
I know.
For the past couple of years.
Yeah. No, I know. And can I tell you, I'm bad about reaching out, but you're such a kind soul and like so like not judgy and whatever that I know that like a year, we haven't spoken in a year, and I could be like, Mac, what's 4chan? And you could be like, here we go. Not like, you haven't texted me. Bah, 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 bah. You know what I mean?
I would never be rude to a beautiful woman.
Oh,
only
please.
to my fellow comedian males. I'm like, you fucking suck. You bombed. I'll kill you.
Wait, we went on like 4 tangents, and I do want to talk about your hair, but the edging thing was just this like wacky Uber driver was just talking, and he's like, oh yeah, edging. And I was like, I don't know what edging is. And I thought
he just brought it up.
He just used it in conversation. Like he just like was like da 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 edging, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
And I just thought, I was like, is it some cool lingo? Is it him being a wahoo? Like,
no, he's just damaged and has to jack off for hours at a time.
Yeah. Well, he explained it to me as like, yeah, like you jerk yourself off to where you're about to come, and then you don't.
You just hold it there for as long as possible. Which I
so
get.
Wait, so then what's gooning?
Gooning is where it's more of like a setup where you're like, I don't think you don't go as far as edging, but you have like your computer screens and your phone, and you're like immersed in it.
Oh, so you're just like autistic with your porn.
You're just like, you're looking at 20 different videos, and you're like obsessing on Instagram. It's more of like it's more gross. Edging feels like an act. Gooning feels like
edging feels more like in line with like Kama Sutra or Tantric, where like we're intentionally doing this for an end goal. Whereas like gooning is just like, oh, you just have multiple screens and you're
just covered in goo, and it stinks.
Oh, that's what it's about too.
I bet. No, I mean not literally, but
I believe it. So. Chuck, do you goon? Are you a goon or a goblin? He's like, fuck you. You didn't bring catnip. Do you guys let him have catnip?
Yeah, he gets crazy every now and then. Chuck the cat is just out of frame. For anyone wondering,
does he ever sit here? No,
not
because that's his couch.
Not that I've seen.
I really like what you guys have done with the place.
We haven't done anything.
Well, I just mean in general. I just mean like you guys could have not done this, and you did.
We got a plant. We got some
multiple
paintings.
plants. The snake plant, the little I forget what that one's called.
This is mostly my roommates. The only thing I've done in here is painted that.
I love that. That reminds me of the National Lampoon. It's like their magazine cover. It's like, if you don't buy this magazine, we'll shoot this dog. And I have it on a shirt.
Damn. Now I feel like my art is derivative.
No, you did it.
Every time I see, I'm very critical about art, and I hate TikTok artists.
Oh, we can talk about this
or just any like Instagram social media art, because it falls into 2 categories. It's either trust fund decoration art that
Fuck
sucks.
all.
Like
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
oh, I'm splattering.
Yeah,
I'm doing.
I painted a beige box. Fuck you.
Yeah,
on a white canvas.
or
Eat
they're
shit.
spinning the canvas, and whenever I see that, I always go, oh, that's very cool trust fund art. Very well
Do you like write that comment?
Oh yeah, I'm getting extremely good at. I don't know. I can't even quantify it, but I'm exceptionally good at like commenting and having people respond to me.
Oh, and saying like they'll be like "fuck you" or they agree. Both.
Sometimes if they don't know that I'm subtly fucking with them. So that's why I'm like I always try to be positive unless I'm like if I want them to keep doing a thing. So if it's like a mentally ill schizophrenic person and they're like, oh, I see a UFO and it's like a bird, I'm like, I see it. And I'm always encouraged. But if it's like a shitty trust fund artist person, I'm like, oh, that's really good for a trust fund artist. And they're like, I don't have a trust fund. I'm like, well, I thought you did. I thought like you would. Your life is, you should be thankful. Like, and I'm always just messing with people, but it is like a thing. And so there's half of that art is that, and the other half is just Basquiat clones.
Yeah.
Which is really embarrassing.
It is.
To be very talented, but not have like any creativity.
Right. And to not have done your homework enough to realize that like I'm biting off a Basquiat.
Well, I bet the first guy who bit Basquiat was like, okay, I'm doing something.
Right.
But after the like 50th black guy who has the same haircut and is painting the same painting, it feels weird to like, why are you all cosplaying as this one guy? Even Jay-Z does it a little bit. Where I'm like, he buys the paintings, but then he gets the same haircut. And I'm like, what's going on here? Why are you dressing up as the guy? I didn't break my jaw and get in a car accident to look like Kanye. I love him and everything he's done. I'm not making raps. I appreciate his art and all he's done, but I'm like, I'm not going to become him. That's like a weird spot that I don't understand. Emulating. Yeah. I guess I'd have to apply it to the comedy world. Maybe everyone does that when you first start.
Well, I didn't want to cut you off, but I was thinking that, yes, in the beginning when you first start, I've noticed a lot of people are monotone, I think because they're not comfortable enough in their body to like explore the space or even just like confidence enough in their physical voice so they're just like, I'm just going to deliver the jokes like this. And if I do a twist at the end, then wow,
Oh, really?
And then
I see everyone doing comedy voice.
So I'm noticing this more with women, and I'm not going to name names, but there will be like, no, these are my coworkers, and I don't want to get fucked. But you'll see like a new, and this isn't all women all the time, but I have seen some newer female comics, and like at the beginning of their career, they're just monotone, and then like as they progress, and I'm sure I was too.
Yeah, everyone does it.
Yeah, like I'm sure I did it.
And that's why you need to call them out so then they self-reflect.
Sure. Well, and you would hope that they would do it on their own. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? You would hope that they would like study enough of their like of their art to be like, oh yeah, like learn from the masters, these are great pants.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're my roommates.
Diego's?
I don't know. One of my roommates gave them to me.
They look great.
This shirt a fan got me.
I love it.
The only thing I buy for myself clothes-wise are my autistic shoes, my socks, and my underwear.
Cool.
All my shirts are either my own merch or someone bought for me.
I need a new merch person, so we can talk about that later. Yeah.
All my pants, I think all my shorts are my own too.
Cool.
But all my pants are hand-me-downs from my roommates.
Wait, so what's the autistic flat foot thing? Ooh, brother, that was a mighty crack.
Yeah,
Felt good.
My ankle's cracked. I've been trying to monkey max.
I don't know what
forever.
that is.
I have a ape index is how long your arms are compared to your height.
Yeah.
So 95% of people,
it's accurate.
It's if you're 6 feet tall, your arm length.
Yeah, I know this.
6 feet long.
Yeah.
And your ape index, this is a real thing, and you can calculate it on a very simple online calculator. Mm-hmm. Is if for every like centimeter longer your arms are, then you're more ape-like. So like some like swimmers and like famous rock climbers.
Like Michael Phelps for sure.
Yeah, they have like high ape indexes in the 1.05 range. It's not that crazy, but
and how do you increase your ape index?
Well, that's part of monkey maxing.
Sorry.
Where these shoes are wide. They let my toes splay out.
Oh,
and they're also flat. They have no arch support.
So that your arch intentionally falls?
No, I have a good arch.
I have a good arch too.
Because I don't support it. It's all my arch muscles are strong.
Oh,
it's like walking barefoot all the time.
Yeah, I usually walk barefoot all the time.
These are just my running shoes and my everything shoes.
Cool.
And I buy them special. They're zeros with an X, and I get them from. I'm gonna make an ad.
You should reach out to them and be like, hey, I fucking talk about these shoes all the time. Sponsor me, yo ho.
If you got autistic feet.
Okay, so what is this business with autistic feet though?
What do you mean?
Like I don't know. My brother's been autistic the whole time.
Oh, yeah, you have like a legit...
like I have like OG, not like this like Brooklyn autistic shit. I know you probably.
I'm like 10% on the spectrum
for sure. I could tell right away. I can like sniff it out.
Your autism radar?
Oh yeah,
your autism gaydar.
It's better than gaydar. It's better than anything.
I've been told.
I want
you to confirm this or deny this.
I'm confirming it right now.
I've been told me and Mike Racine have the exact same type.
I believe it.
And that's why we kind of like we don't know how to feel each other out.
Sure. Yes, because one of you needs to be right. Yeah, like I can interact with Mike because I know how to handle him. Like, hanging out with Mike is like a Tuesday.
There's the same parts of your brain, just like, oh, that's Mike, Mac.
That's so funny. Well, I also think it's interesting. Me, Mike, and Graham all have brothers who are
verbal.
Graham's brother can speak. Like they can call each other on the phone, and they're like sweet with each other.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, right? Isn't that? I know. I wish I could. Like my mom will put me on FaceTime, and he'll just kind of go like, "Hi." Like, but I think Mike Racine's brother. Oh, yeah, we can say full names. He's a public person. Mike Racine's brother is also nonverbal. Oop, is it okay?
You're good.
Oh, okay. I had the best conversation with Micah once, not recorded.
Micah Fox?
Yeah, Micah Fox, my buddy.
Forgot to hit record?
No, it was my fault. I know, I fucked up, and it was like I was so pissed. And she called the dude. She's like, "Are you sure it's recording?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." Nope.
So does your brother? So here's the thing.
AMA baby.
The things I've noticed the most
Let's hear
is walking barefoot on a hard floor with
is the best
with scuzz on it is the worst.
Scuzz, like if it's dirty,
like breadcrumbs or like anything.
It's gross.
I have to be inside with flip flops or shoes.
Sure, of course.
And people are like, "Why are you wearing shoes in your house?" Because no one swept today.
Right.
And I'm too lazy to sweep.
Yeah.
So that's my second worst one, other than eye contact and all the other things.
Sure. Eye contact's tough. I mean, I have a joke about it. It's like, yeah.
The one that's really messing with me is at open mics or clubs where I don't go to dance clubs because once it gets to a certain noise level, I can't process any audio.
Yeah.
And I don't spurg out and like have like a meltdown about it. I'm just like, people are talking at me. I'm like, I can't understand you. So I'm like standing underwater.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me uncomfortable, but I'm like, hey,
we're not getting fuck all done here.
I can't communicate to you, so I'm going to leave. I'm not having fun. And also I can't dance for whatever reason. I don't know what that is. I don't think that's autism related.
No, that's just your white half. You have a Spanish half and a white half. And what?
Being raised in Utah, I think I'm more white.
And what's funny is you look more Latino than I do.
Than all my Latino friends who are all...
Do they look like me?
You, Diego.
Oh, right.
They're all very white passing.
What Diego calls us daywalkers.
The daywalkers.
Yeah. That's like I'm writing a show about it.
Oh.
Just a show, not a TV show, but because I'm just tired of explaining it.
Do you feel oppressed?
Or no, I'm not trying to get canceled. I'm not like, as a white woman, I'm oppressed. No, it's just...
Is it the best of both worlds? Because I've always said being Latino is... I haven't given you my Latino theory.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the Latino theory.
I'm a
Latino truther?
I'm a Latino supremacist.
Okay, that's...
where I say the Latino race is the Ubermensch. We are the strongest race in the universe. Because
we're good at cleaning.
That helps, but I think we're good at not complaining.
Yeah,
we're not like when it comes to all the politics, when it comes to all the race wars, it's always white. Stop Asian hate, white people, black people always fighting. Everyone in Serbia, Albania, Kosovo, all them all fighting. Russia. I'm saying Latino, we're just doing our own thing, but that's only one aspect of it. I think we are not a singular race because you can go all the way to Dominican where they're like you're black, and it's like no, they're Dominican, and you have all the full spectrum to white,
right?
Where it's like that's a white that's a Nazi, that's an Argentinian German. No, it's like
Nazi.
They're Latino,
right?
So I'm saying, what other race can do that? Be every single shade of humanity, from black to white to brown to maybe sometimes a little Asian, depending on.
Oh, there's Cuban Chinese people.
There's I need to go to that Cuban Chinese place. There's like one place in Manhattan.
That La Caridad closed.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure there's another one on in Midtown that we can go to. I would love to go with you.
So, but
you can visit me after work.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying because black people can't, once they get white in them, then they kind of like become half, and it like becomes diluted, and that's a whole thing.
Sure, but
light skins, all that. Where I'm saying Latina, it's like that's a Hispanic guy. He speaks Spanish. He's part of the culture.
But I think
we're the greatest race ever. Maybe Asians, because they got the Filipinos. They're kind of brown.
Yeah, I don't know. And are we considered a race or an ethnicity?
Why not both? Let's do the Jewish thing.
I don't.
It's like we're both, and we're a religion. Latino, la raza.
La raza. I think one of the reasons why we're doing our own thing is like a language barrier. You know what I mean? Because we're just like migrant workers in the farms, like picking shit.
Do you think it's all of it if everyone speaks the same language?
I think speaking, like being able to all speak the same language absolutely helps. And the fact that we're factioned off into Spanish, people who only speak Spanish, bilingual people, and then Spanish speakers who were intentional, or Latinos who were intentionally not taught to speak Spanish out of survival. I know a ton of like Cubans or Mexicans who are like our generation that it's like their parents were fucking scared shitless. And they're like, no, we're not going to teach you Spanish.
Really?
Because, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not going to name names, but I can think of like.
Well, I'm right here.
Oh, that happened to you?
Kind of accidentally.
But I thought you do understand Spanish.
I understand Spanish at like a subconscious level. And being around it for so long, I have a real struggle speaking it.
Oh, sure.
But it's because I grew up only speaking Spanish, and because my dad was always working, and so I was just around my mom and all her friends. And
you're Chilean, right? That's your other.
She's Chilean, so I'm half.
Yeah, you're half. You're half Chilean.
But also, my grandma's like German. And I don't know what she was doing and where she came from. So she
was on a cruise. It was cool. No, I'm kidding.
I'm a mix of everything on both sides, but I got sent to daycare when my mom got a job, and so I started learning English at like 3.
Same.
And so then I'm like, oh, the language they've been teaching me, I'm like set back a couple years.
I was in ESOL too, but it's fine.
So I got put in all the dumb classes, and I'm like, no, I speak English. I just am catching up to everyone. And then by 6th grade, they put me in all the advanced classes because I could read. And so I understand. I get approached by people. I've had Uber Eats guys pull off to the road and like just, hey, how do how do I get here? And I'm like, just open your Google Maps. And they're like, but where is this?
Aww.
And it's like around here, and I have to like in broken Spanish be like, all right, you necesita turn, and they're like, who's this guy? You're darker than me and you can't speak Spanish? I'm like, I'm sorry.
They're like, shave your mustache. It's revoked.
I get stopped all the time in the city by Hispanic people asking for directions, which I'm like, I just need to learn how to say Google Maps works in Spanish.
So then you can say, podemos cambiarlo a español. Like we can change it to Spanish for you. I have my keyboard. I have my Spanish keyboard that I'm
just saying they're old people don't know how to use their phones.
Listen.
And I'm being a crumb bum.
But can I tell you, sometimes you get off the train. I hate when like you're in a super new place and it like takes a minute to like figure out that you've walked in the wrong direction.
Recombobulate.
Yeah. And you're like stressed because you're running late to the show or the mic or whatever.
That's just New York. You're always going to be late.
Yeah.
You should account for it.
It's true. Joe DeRosa said the same thing.
So what racial prejudices have you
encountered? This is
growing
great.
up as a white Latino, Latina,
just get canceled.
Or do you identify as Latinx?
No, I think every Latino thinks Latinx is dumb.
Yeah.
Even like the queer ones are like, use Latiné. And I was like, ooh.
Oh, Latiné.
Mm-hmm. That's like the all encompassing. So I've been told. I mean, you got to stay hip to the jive.
What is that letter at
I
the
guess
end?
it's E with like an apostrophe.
Oh, an accent over it?
Yeah.
That does seem gayer. A little fruity E with a special then better Latinx.
Well, I think everyone's problem with Latinx is that like a bunch of white people in like at Berkeley did it, and it's like, no, fuck you. Like you can't like tell us how to like identify ourselves. We're already cleaning your houses.
Again, we're the most powerful race.
Okay, so here's my problem with that.
Shut up, white lady, not you.
No, I know. See, and that's so. Okay, we're the strongest, but then like, why do black people still dominate all the sports?
One theory, which is incorrect, by the way, but is that because of all the slavery and stuff, we did breed
right
black people into to be the strongest and most athletic ones for the fields. So
right, that's a thought, and explain how it's incorrect.
It's incorrect because you're not supposed to think that. It's a bad thought to like articulate out loud.
Okay.
Liberals like to be like, no, and they're like, okay, well then why? What else? Sociological reasons of wanting to play basketball. I don't know, whatever excuse I've heard. I'm like, that sounds more racist.
Yeah.
Than just
it's like, let it be the truth. Unless I'm wrong.
If I'm wrong, then tell me why that's wrong.
Right.
But if your explanation sounds more wrong than my wrong, then I'm going to keep believing my wrong thing.
Right.
One of my favorite Norm Macdonald interviews was him on the radio, and he goes, he's talking about like, hey, black people are poor, and this lady starts losing her mind. You can't say that, and she's like, that's racist to say. And Norm goes, how do you fix a problem if you can't talk about a problem? And she doesn't even hear him say that. He just. She just freaks out. Like, you can't say that. And I'm just it's like, there are facts. Yeah. It's just like, this is how society is.
There are disadvantaged communities. Yeah.
And we can all see it, and we should talk about it.
Right.
Because it's funny. And Dominicans need to turn down the radio. It's really bad. They're so loud, and I hate them, which we can talk about because they're us.
Yeah.
That's the one thing coming from Utah. Like Latinos out there, very South American, but Central American, it's a whole different world. New York.
So because it's all Caribbean up here. So
yeah, I'm not used to like Cubans and Dominicans and all that.
And
the Puerto
Ricans, right? I was going to say there's not that many Cubans, but yeah, I was going to say earlier.
Cuban's a Florida thing.
Yeah, like no one is. It's like me and Alexis Guerreros and like the one Cuban guy that owns that like Cuban Chinese fusion place. I think it's called like Calle Dao. Is the name of the place. Calle Dao. So my dad is from Paraguay, and like they speak kind of like in a sing-songy. It's like no te lo creo. I don't know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then Caribbean is just like affectionately like just more relaxed and kind of a disaster, and kind of like there are some people don't even pronounce their R's, which is there's Puerto Ricans who don't say the two R's in Puerto Rico, and I'm like, all right, brother, it's your country. Like they'll say like Puerto Rico, and I'm like, you just ate two R's and made them L's, and I'm the asshole.
But you can still understand them.
Sure, but it's Puerto. That's when you're supposed to roll the R in Puerto.
Just as long as you're not a Spaniard. That's the only accent I hate.
You want to know what happened to me over there? So I went over there I went over there for a wedding, and I couldn't find my luggage, and I'm like, no puedo encontrar mi valija. Like, I can't find my suitcase.
And they're like, why are you talking gay?
Honestly, and then
why are you talking gay?
Ay, no te lo creo.
They're like, what the hell? No, you're gay. You talk gay. We talk normal over here.
And then I literally put on the acento, and I said the same thing, and they were like, oh my God, you speak great. And I'm like, I got to get out of here, man. Just find my fucking luggage. I have a wedding. Let's go.
It's a really easy accent to fake.
Yeah. Everyone going Ibiza, I'm like, kill yourself.
Estoy straight. And then...
Soy Mac.
Yeah.
Soy Mac y quiero un sandwich. I don't know. No, I'm fucking it up now. No, wait, what were you going to say?
I was going to go off on I don't consider Spaniards... Well, they're not Latinos.
They're not. They're Spanish.
Because Latinos are
Latin America.
Half Spanish, half native.
Right.
We're a whole new race. And then whatever shade of white or black or brown in between there.
That's what's...
And we're like the Borg. We'll take in more Chinese people or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, your theory is cool because we really are every shade, and we mix with everybody.
And we can't. We're like aliens. We take on everyone, and they assimilate to us.
Yeah.
That's the problem with other countries and immigrants. Is immigrants don't assimilate.
But that's what some of these, like the people who I know who don't speak Spanish, even though they're Cuban or Mexican, it's because their parents were like, we have to fucking assimilate, lose the language. Because they didn't want the kids to be like us where they're fucking at school, fucking up in ESOL. You know what I mean?
ESL.
Now it's ESL. We called it ESOL in Miami.
Yeah, I was like, every time you say that, I have to like, what is she? Oh,
yeah. English as a second language. I don't know what the O stands for, but yeah.
There's an O.
Yeah, ESOL was ESOL. English as a second and other languages, maybe? I don't know.
I've never heard that.
Maybe it's just a Miami-Dade County public school thing.
Maybe.
Okay, so the autism thing with the flat foot, I'm sorry that I keep bringing it back to that, but it's just like better if you're... I mean, my brother and I do walk around barefoot all the time. And our mom's house is pretty clean. And it does... But like, I won't... Like, I treated myself to a cleaning lady today. She's also super cheap, Mexican, what's up? Rosa.
To your house.
To my house here in Brooklyn.
Damn, you are white.
No,
I thought about it all the time, but I'm a stinky college dude.
Well, but here's the thing.
You saw my room.
Well, this is what happened.
Yes.
I was fine for years by myself, but then in my last house, I lived with... This is another example. The person that I lived with, his mom was Mexican. His mom's Mexican and his dad's white. So he looked Mexican, but could barely speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And was so white for some shit. One of the ways was he was messy.
It's a white people thing.
It is. It's crazy.
You know what? Now I think about it, every Latino house has been...
You could eat off the fucking floor, my man. Are you kidding?
Those white devils, you Cuban apes.
It gets me out of sorts. So and then the other girl was like literally from Scotland. I'm like, I'm outnumbered, and I couldn't. It was driving me nuts. Being like, it's not fair to me that I'm the cleanest one, and that everyone gets to benefit from my OCD clean Latina shit. And this lady, I actually found her through like a female comedian group, basically UCB when it was still around, even though I know it's coming back, but UCB Chelsea, remember that location? Doesn't matter. Whatever. She was the cleaning lady at UCB. They fucked her.
UCB fucked someone over?
I don't believe it. What? Yeah, they were just like, so there was like these girls like put in the group like, hey, Rose is awesome. She got fucked over. If you want to give her any work. And she was like $60. And I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
So funny because like there's therapists who specialize for comedians. There's like,
oh, really?
I think there's like a therapist in Manhattan who like a bunch of famous comics go to.
Oh, the guy who does everyone for the seller?
I have no idea.
There's that guy.
But it's funny that comics also have like, oh, you got to use Rosa. She's the comic cleaning lady. Well, bong water comes out of your couch so easy. She doesn't care about your roaches.
So funny. Well, I'm so like Catholic guilt that like, if I have any kind of like weed paraphernalia, I'll like hide it. I'm like, I don't want her to fucking see it. And I like clean before she gets there.
You pre-clean.
Of course.
That's crazy.
You got to pre-clean.
No, I like to make messes before.
No. I'm gonna, you know what I did?
If I know the cleaning lady's coming, I'm going to be extra dirty.
You know what I did that with? My friend is a nutritionist and she's like, let's do your blood sample. Like, let's do blood tests and let's do a stool sample.
So you're just like Dunkin' Donuts and
honestly,
Little Caesars.
I ate so much fucking bread. And she's like, yeah, you shouldn't eat bread. And I was like,
this says you have type 2 diabetes right now. And you're like, yeah.
I am on metformin, which is, I told you I was Latina.
What's metformin?
Metformin is what they give to diabetics and like people with pre-diabetes.
It's not one of the semaglutide GLP-1s.
No, it's not a GLP-1. But they did give it to me being like, hey, maybe this will help you with your weight loss. And it didn't do shit.
Oh.
It's fine.
Why do you keep taking it? Feel good?
I'm trying to not have like my blood. I'm trying to like decrease my blood sugar spikes.
Gotcha. I don't even know what my blood sugar ever was. Never measured it. All I measure is my weight, and
Those are good. Yeah.
That's about it.
But like an easy way to do it, even though it's gnarly, is like if if you're about to eat pizza, just give yourself like a shot of apple cider vinegar. Like just
that sounds like an old wives' tale.
But it like cuts, it like helps not. I mean, now there's like pills for it. Like now I found this like woman, her name's Glucose Goddess on Instagram, but she like, you would love her. She got into a gnarly accident and then like became a scientist.
I love
she's also like
cuckoo scientist.
No, she's also like a hot French girl.
Even
and she
better.
like dyes her hair blonde. Oh yeah, she looks like she belongs in Bushwick.
Glucose Goddess.
Here, I'll find it for you.
I already found her.
Yeah, isn't she cute?
I'm Glucose Goddess.
I think it's all one. Yeah, I buy her anti-spike.
Is her?
Yeah.
She's a little too French.
Oh, I liked her better with blonde hair.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, look how cute she is.
Yeah, I mean, she is.
She's a cutie.
She's very petite.
She's petite. Well, I know you like to snap them like a twig.
You know me.
Guilty, baby. Okay, wait. So let's talk about your blonde hair, because you've been like me. You dyed it and you keep dyeing it.
I dyed it because I kept getting. I went on Bye Guys one day, and you can find this episode. And
is Bye Guys
Ian Finance and Zach Amico?
Yeah, that's it. But do they still do it often, or is it kind of like
it's still going?
Right.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
But I went on that, and then so you can find this episode, and everyone in the comments said I would look like a different comic that's already in the scene.
That you looked like a comic.
They were saying like, "Who's this?"
So and so look alike.
And it was like 10 different comments saying I look exactly. And then I looked up the guy. It was Joe Gorman.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, all right. That's very rude.
It's very rude that I don't know who he is. Fuck this guy. Fuck. He probably doesn't know who I am. I don't give a shit.
So everyone was just like, this guy. And I looked, I'm like, damn, I do look like him. And I was also getting, everyone was like, you look like Jared, who's the ugly porn star? Jeremy.
This is your shit now.
Jeremy. Why can't I remember his name?
Doesn't matter. So how long have you been dyeing it blonde?
I've been dyeing it blonde.
Are we up to years now?
Well, I cut it a while ago, but then I started dyeing it probably at the beginning of this year. Not very long, but
like this is a fresh job. What you got going on right now?
Let's look at my Instagram. See how long I've had blonde hair.
I've been blonde for 9 years.
Probably since February.
Oh, okay.
But I started doing that because of my favorite Japanese comedian, Hitoshi Matsumoto, who was canceled.
Why?
He did some weird stuff in a hotel in 2016.
Bummer. So, like inappropriate shit?
Just like meeting up, like, hey, come up to my hotel room. And I don't know how Japanese tabloids work. I read into it. I just know he was canceled and he makes me laugh. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not buying his merch.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find out news in another country.
Sure.
But
who let you know? You just you found it on 4chan? I'm a fan of him,
and I just found it, and I'll show you what he looks like. And I'm like, I got to come up with a new look because I don't want to look exactly like everyone would give me Jeremy. Why can't I? That's Hitoshi Matsumoto.
Oh, hilarious!
And I'm like, you know what? That's a decent look.
That's so funny. I mean, what's cool about the blonde is you can do other stuff. Like you can do it pink or purple. Like once it's blonde, like Manic Panic's so easy.
Oh, I have to do it twice.
I know. Yeah.
I always go and I look for the
platinum.
The bleed. I don't even look. I look for a black person on the box. Because my hair is so thick.
Yeah. That's my mom has the same hair. Is it like? And if you let it grow out, it gets like a little bit curly and coarse.
No, it's coarse. But
it's pinned straight like that.
It gets a little wavy. But it's thick. I've had all the gay hairdressers when I was a kid were just like, your hair is thick. Like, and I'm like, I'm a kid. I don't know why you're being mean to me.
I know.
Stop being sassy to me.
They would do the same thing. You know what they used to say in Spanish in Miami? They'd go, oh, you have to eat to brush this hair. Tienes que comer. Like you have to have, have to have eaten so that you have strength to have the strength to brush the hair.
And so I don't hate it, but.
So you find a black person on the box who has blonde hair.
Because I'm like, black people have thick hair.
Right.
that is dark, like
right.
And so that's going to be strong enough.
And so you buy 2 of those boxes and you call it a night.
And those boxes have two double strength bleach in them.
And that's what you do when you get this.
So I have to like bleach it, then wait a couple days, then bleach it again because it's all yellow, and then it gets blonde. Do you
love how like that burning of the bleach? Or am
not in my eyes? You love it?
Yeah, when I get like, I'm.
Are you bleaching your hair and gooning in the bathroom? Yeah. Ooh, it burns so good. You're putting out a cigarette just on your wrist.
I'm one of those fucks who likes the smell of gasoline.
Okay,
so
normal.
Yeah. Well, so bleach. I like the smell of bleach too.
I don't like the smell of it, but I don't mind the tingling.
I love it. Like I know, like I'm starting to see my gray hairs and shit, and like I don't know. Hopefully,
you're getting excited so you can bleach more.
Well, I mean, it's like my dude does it like under the table, and it's still like expensive as shit. But
What do you mean under the table? Is that you bleach everywhere?
No, I've done laser
under
everywhere.
the table.
No, but I mean like he works at a nice salon, but he gives me like a friends and family discount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if not, I feel like what he does would probably be like $600-800 or something insane.
What? Is that how much?
Being a woman is a fucking racket. Bikinis are $300.
It's because you pay for that. Also,
what? Yeah, sure.
You should have your man pay for that.
Well, he got super lucky with me because I'm frugal and I I go to like not old like Old Navy or like Aerie, like I find like good deals. You know what I mean?
You should test those limits. See how much he loves you.
You know what he did? He paid for my acting school.
Oh.
He was like, "You're really great. You should like pursue this more." He's like, "Pick a school and I'll pay for it." And I was like, "Oh wait, that's what I wanted. I didn't get to finish telling you. Fuck it. I didn't finish the thought and then it went away.
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
I hope it does. Shit.
But you think it's? I mean, I can see the haircuts being that
Micah
much.
and I were bitching about it because Micah also like blondes her hair too. Oh, stop! Everybody,
goss.
she. I love Micah. Micah's the best. I know you love her too.
She's so funny.
You should go. Honestly, like I've gone just to hang at her advice show.
Oh,
the one that she does with Tim on Sundays. It's not every Sunday. I think it's like next Sunday or this. It's like Sundays at like 8 or 9 at the Gutter. It's chill. Yeah. And there's always just like 6 of us.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
but I like dyeing my hair because I feel like it's. Being the only straight guy with bleach blonde hair.
Oh, you're like Frank Ocean. It's cool as hell.
Yeah, Frank Ocean, very straight.
So talented.
Well, I'm saying I don't see a lot of Latinos doing it.
No,
I
think it's so hard, like what you're saying.
So I think I stand out.
Totally, yeah.
Which I'm like, and then I also forget. I never see it. Mm-hmm. I don't look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my own little thing. I don't look like Ron Jeremy. That's the name of the guy. You can't.
Oh, hilarious! But you're so much more. You're not. You don't look like him at all.
Don't look. I don't have
he
the
has
body
like
type.
Bug eyes, and exactly. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about the body type because he's like a short, fat little thing. But
I'm not well endowed like him. I don't have all the rape accusations like him either. So
surprise.
But I don't get compared to him anymore, and I hated it because. The first time it was funny. Mm-hmm. The 40th time, I'm like, no, you guys gotta come up with a better joke.
Oh, that was something I was gonna say earlier. Comedy fans are insane. Like
some of them.
Yeah. No, not all of them.
Some of them are really cool and like.
Some of them are really cool.
When someone
I've become friends with some of them.
When someone gets my ass with a really unique burn, I'm like, I love y'all. You're
like, marry me. Let's
stay
go.
around. But when it's like you look like Ron Jeremy, I'm like, all right, buddy, same thing.
Yeah.
I read the comment above you says the exact same thing.
Well, that's the other thing. I can't believe that they don't have the wherewithal to like make sure what they want to say hasn't been said.
I get it. They just want to. They're like, Ron Jeremy. It's a drunk guy at a comedy show. They're not even thinking. They just want to get it out.
Right.
Which is
not my bag.
I understand. I'm not. I'm hating, but I'm not calling you out.
I'm calling you out. Mm-hmm. When you know better, do better. Fuck you. Be cool.
But
try and like all it takes, even if it takes 2 seconds to just scroll, to just be like, oh, did someone already say this? Oh, okay, let me think of something. But I guess that's what differentiates comedians from comedy fans. Now I sound like a mean bitch.
No, I wouldn't even say half the comedians have that. A lot of people just say I'm like, I've heard that joke 100 times.
And not even have the wherewithal to try and write a better one?
Yeah. There's so many people like that. But whatever. Now we're just both being sassy.
Oh, two sassy Latinks.
Mm-hmm.
John got me good when we first...
Twinks?
Latinks. He just said, instead of saying Latinx, he just said Latinks.
All right.
And I was like, is this how this white boy thinks you say Latinx? Oh, that was something I was going to say earlier, not what I forgot. So I was outnumbered in my old place, 2-1 whites, 2 whites, 1 Latinx. So I was like, you guys are going to drive me crazy. Rosa, they were talking about Rosa in the chat, and I was like,
lady.
The cleaning lady. And so I brought her over, and then
in Spanish, you're like, clean my room better than theirs.
No, and that was the other thing.
I hit a 20 under my pillow.
Hilarious. Like I'm fucking Oprah.
Just like give them a little, dusting, but my room is what really needs it.
No, I out of shame would always have my room clean, but she would do the common areas. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm a psycho who like cleans their sheets, washes their sheets every week, which I think is normal. But apparently I moved here and everyone's like, you're nuts.
No, I do that in the summer,
but not in the winter.
No, not in the winter.
There's nothing better than a fresh shower and fresh sheets.
I like to dry out on my bed.
Oh, sure, I get that.
I like to air dry.
What if you're clean?
I just took a shower.
Right. No, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Well, you could air dry. I mean, some people come home sweaty or shit, and they're like, I just want to fucking fan my balls.
No, I take a shower and then I air dry on my bed, and it's so hot. Hopefully it doesn't create like mold, but whatever.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't understand. I feel bad. I had to like show my boyfriend like, no, we're gonna.
Where's he from?
He's a white boy from Philly.
Philly. It's humid in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Because when I moved here, I didn't realize I'm from the desert of Utah.
So it's very dry.
So I'm like, yeah, I have one towel.
Okay.
And I don't need to like cycle through towels.
Sure.
Because here, your towel stays like kind of as you like hang it out to dry. It still is like damp from the day before.
No. But then you're not hanging it correctly. So this is what I'm talking about.
Saying like and also now that it's super hot, I'm like, taking like 2 showers a day. I went through 4 t-shirts.
Sure, I get that.
2 days ago because it was so hot.
I get
took
it.
Like 2 showers.
Yeah.
Just 2 of them were soaked.
But see, hi. Oh no, he's like, fuck you guys. Okay, so there's a couple things. When you get out of the shower, you dry yourself off, whatever. Then you get the towel, and like if this is the shower rod, like a piece of paper, like, over.
Yeah, but I have roommates.
Well, no, and
there's only
that's
so much space.
Tough. Well, and John is a new person in the house, so I have this like $50 IKEA chair, and he likes the thicker towels, so we like. And he really only takes 1 shower, so we like put his over that chair. It takes about a day to dry, but then when he's ready to take a shower the next day, crispy. And then in our bathroom, I always leave the window a little bit cracked.
To release the humidity.
To release the humidity to make sure, to make sure there's like, I mean, in the winter it's great because you just get that cold, crisp air, and you're like, ah.
That's a weird, another weird New York thing is where. It's all like steam heating. So like explain to people like, yeah, you just have the window. The window is kind of your temperature. Where this is if you live like in an old building, but you like crack the window and let the winter air regulate.
Oh yeah, totally.
But it's foreign to everyone else. So.
But I mean, how do they not realize that that's logical? So that's
they don't even get it. They're like, "What do you mean you have the window open all winter?" I'm like, "Well, we have to because our ancient steam is New York's like the only place that has steam heating."
Oh, right. I didn't know. I had never seen a radiator before. Like really understood. Like I probably saw it in a movie and was like, whatever. But like I moved here and I'm like, oh, this is like a whole thing.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Burning your hand every now and then. You're like, oh,
sure. Well, I like the ones that th've put the rope. You know how there's like those poles and they put the rope around it so you don't burn your hand?
No.
I know that's not steam. Maybe that's something else, but it's like a. You've never been in an apartment where it's like it's always like in a bathroom in a corner and it's like a pole. It's like and it's hot.
Yeah, that's steam. That's a steam pipe.
All right, so they put rope around it. You've never seen a steam pipe with rope around it?
No.
Oh yeah, they do it so you don't.
I live everywhere. They're like, it's on you if you touch the pipe. Don't live in your fancy Upper East Side apartments with fancy rope.
No, it's like Ace Hardware rope. It's nothing crazy. Yeah, anyway.
It's the same kind of stuff they put around motorcycle mufflers.
Oh, is that right?
For like cafe racers. It looks ugly. But
wait, fuck. I was gonna say something else. Oh, so you haven't been diagnosed autistic, but or have you?
No.
But you're like,
why would I?
I don't know. You could get bored. Oh, I was about to say someone's name.
Wait, did someone get money?
No. There was just a comedian a couple years ago who was like, "Oh, I got tested and I'm autistic," and we're like, "Yeah, brother, water's wet." I'll tell you when we stop recording. I'm not gonna say it now because
how dare you?
They're married and I like their wife, so that's
you don't like them.
They're like whatever. Here's the thing: is that I'm sure that most of my problem with them is because of things that they've done because they're autistic,
or they use the defense of being autistic.
Well, like
that's what a lot of people do. Is like, oh, sorry, I was drunk. It's like that's not an excuse.
Yeah, again,
you're still you.
That's my whole joke. I have like a really old joke about it, and it's like, ooh, I'm like, you're not autistic. You just suck at parties. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you still have to adapt. You're still conscious enough.
Exactly. Like and it's like, oh, eye contact is hard. And it's like, yeah, that's what alcohol's for. You know what I mean? Let's go. Like, nobody's like, this is weird. To do this is insane. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. I'm going to fucking Medusa your ass. But yeah, where was I going with this?
You were about to tell me their name?
No, but that's what it was. I just like, I have my limit. I know that because my brother is autistic, nonverbal, and like was diagnosed in the 80s before it was like trending to be autistic.
Diagnosed in the 80s is legit.
Dude, when he was, I know.
He also just doesn't speak.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. When he was diagnosed, it was like 1 out of 1,800. Like people, and now it's like 1 out of 50.
Yeah, it's going up because of all the Roundup.
Exactly. Yeah, the spectrum is like you fart and you're on the spectrum. It's crazy.
Well, people self-diagnose you, but like actual autism is going up because of all the poison in Roundup that's being used everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people.
Oh, when you first said Roundup, I thought you meant like exponential population growth and rounding up, but like you mean actual
spraying weeds and crops.
Yeah, totally.
They found that's like a thing
for sure.
That RFK Jr. has sued and won money about, and people are like, he's an anti-vaxxer, and it's like, all right, and he claims vaccines do it, which I don't know, look into it. So and then also they think Tylenol, when in the womb, causes it, which worse things have been done by drug companies.
Sure.
I think Bayer gave like a bunch of people AIDS because they're like, oh, all this medicine's infected with AIDS, we have to throw it away. And they're like, sell it to Africa, and this is like documented stuff. It's like the pharmaceutical industry is the most.
They're evil.
They're all evil. So
they're the worst, and they go and they play golf with all the politicians. Yeah. So it's like, I've been saying this for years. Everyone's like, yeah. I'm like, they all play golf. They're all homies. Mm-hmm. They're all like fucking slapping each other's butts at the same sauna at the same country club. Like, forget it.
So did your mom have any holistic Hispanic cures to help him with his?
Oh, to help him with his autism. So my mom actually like really approached it like a fucking nerd academic, and like she like immediately like just read as much as she could about it, and still does, obviously. Like he's still her, like they live together. He lives with her. We tried everything. We did like swimming with the dolphins, like anything holistic she would try.
Yeah.
And because like anything that like wouldn't hurt, and but then we also, like horseback riding, we did gluten-free, casein-free, which now it's called dairy-free, but casein is the protein found in dairy.
I heard.
Let's hear it.
One of the craziest things is,
and then I'm going to tell you another crazy story.
Let's see if your mom went down this route. Is it was like they found when it comes to nonverbal kids, it's because they like have a weak like musculature for speaking in their throat, and so I saw like some crazy person being like, yeah, I'm giving my kids steroids and it like seems to like help.
I mean, I'll bring it up to her. I'm sure she knows about it.
And so it's like once you develop the muscles to speak, then it like helps everything else unlock, which is, I don't know, I saw it on a TikTok while I was scrolling, and then I saw a hot bitch dancing, then the next thing, and it wiped my memory, and I remember that more.
Yeah, he saw yabos, big old yabos bouncing around.
Maybe that would cure him.
Oh, my brother's the biggest horn dog.
Going
My
to a
mom
strip
had
club. He speaks.
We just had to take him to Bada Bing, baby. I'll say for my brother, I don't know if that's the case because
No,
he can like, well, no, just
1,000 different reasons.
right. No, and like there's so many variables and like every person is different. But like with him, he can fucking scream, boy. Like he can like, yeah. And you're like, oh. So I feel like his vocal cords, even though now maybe someone who like knows all about vocal cords can be like, well, the vocal cords that help you scream are different than the speaking ones. But this is something wild. God, how old was I? This must have been like easily 25 years ago. A boy with autism, a nonverbal boy with autism had diarrhea. And the doctor gave him secretin, which is an active hormone found in pigs. And they gave it to him and the kid started talking.
That's insane.
And it's insane. And so my mom is like, through her Cuban mafia connections, was like, not
Let's
really.
try it.
Yeah. She basically like got her hands on some. Her friends are doctors. Like she's friends with like one of the best ENTs in Miami. And he just came over and like injected him with it. And it didn't do anything. And I think if anything, it fucked with him because my brother was always like super thin. And we gave it to him like kind of around his puberty time. And now he's like a bigger dude.
He's like, you did a Barron Trump thing.
What is that? Tell
Barron
me.
Trump's like 7 feet tall.
And
they probably injected him with stuff like.
I meant bigger as like heavier.
No, I mean like all around. Like,
oh, is he? I couldn't tell you. I know I could like identify his face, but I don't like.
Barron Trump's the.
No, I know who he is,
okay,
but like I don't know what he looks like. Like I don't care enough about him to be like, oh, that's him. You know.
Should be playing basketball. He's so
because
lanky.
he's that. But my brother is like 6'3", but like
he's huge,
like 285,
solid.
No, he's
thick.
like fluffy. He's like, no, he like has a good life. He like goes to the grocery. We're thinking about it. I mean, it's like, like helps with anxiety as well and like anti-inflammatory. Or do you want to try Ozempic?
I'm on it.
You're on it?
I'm on it with my dark web connections.
How do you feel?
I'm slimming down.
Yeah.
You need to exercise on it.
For sure.
And you need to definitely eat a quarter of what you eat.
I don't tell anyone, but I'm also on it.
Oh.
Because of my PCOS. So my doctor 3 years. No one knows. No, nobody talks about it. It's polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Oh.
So it manifests.
You don't need to get it.
Oh.
Lady stuff. Ugh.
You're like, nah, do your tits work?
Gross.
Do your tits and your hole work? Holes? But yeah, so when my doctor put me on metformin 3 years ago and it didn't do, or 4 years ago at this point, it didn't do fuck all. When Ozempic came out, she's like, yeah, let's try it. And yeah, it's helped. But you're right. You still have to work out. You can't eat like an asshole. But it does, at least for me, it has made me less anxious around food.
Anxious?
I get anxious around food.
Get horny around food.
Are you being serious?
No, but
I knew. That's why I was like, I was looking away and I'm like, maybe he does. Maybe he's a little freak.
I'm just, I don't feel anything when I eat, which was the problem.
So how do you feel now?
We'll get into it on the Patreon if you want to do it.
Oh, okay.
They gotta pay.
Oh yeah. We're almost at an hour. Do we land this plane?
If you want.
Oh no, it's your thing. I don't know. I
thought you were gonna finish up with your brother.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, the secretin didn't work.
Get him on TRT.
What's that? Oh wait, testosterone.
Get him on a lifting regimen because a lot of bodybuilders are like, I can't remember what the quote is, but there's one that's like, you can inject testosterone into an autistic person, but you can't inject autism into a strong person. And the best base for bodybuilding is like an autistic person.
Why? Because of the OCD?
It's just like to get into a rhythm and a routine, and really a lot of bodybuilders claim that's like the ultimate build.
Is to be autistic and
then blast steroids. And I'm like, I see it.
I see it too. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I can't wait till I'm making boatloads of money and I can just get all the best. I would love to get my brother a chef, a fucking trainer. You know what I mean? Because I think it's just hard for my mom went on a trip and I like took care of the house, and she just has my brother and the 2 dogs. And after the first 2 days, I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
Does he bite you?
No.
He
fucking gave me a gnarly black eye once.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But when he was going through puberty, it was bad, and he would bang on the door frame so much that they would break, and he'd like kick in doors and shit.
I mean, every guy feels that way.
See, and I only had my brother, so I was in this vacuum of like, is this just my brother, or is this all dudes just like roiding out on their new hormones?
I think it's all dudes, but most dudes
know to
choose
like
different ways to self-destruct.
Like what?
Pyromania.
Sure.
Video gooning.
Right.
Become sports.
Right. Well, so he. Like I feel like pre-secretin he was like really good at swimming. I mean, he still is. He can hold his breath for like 2 minutes. That's when I learned, dude, when I learned that, I like
what do you mean learned it? How to? Or
no, when I realized that he could hold his breath for a super long time, I was like, let's have fun. And one day I was like, Mom, he's at the bottom of the pool, blah, blah, blah. And I knew that he was fine, and she like jumped in fully clothed. And then she was like, fuck you guys. What was cool about him being, the fact that he is autistic, we were like the first people on the block to get a trampoline. And like, we're not, my mom's a teacher, my dad's, like, we didn't have money like that.
Why did you get a trampoline?
For him, because it was like something like...
Someone in a book wrote? They're like, yeah.
No, this is just my mom, like,
the pre-internet. Trampoline salesman?
No.
Yeah, it'll cure it.
Well, it was like a good way to like get like extra energy out. You know what I mean? And
it's a good way to break your spine too.
All right, Dad. Well,
every kid should have a trampoline, and you learn. I've landed on a trampoline, and I don't ever need to go to a chiropractor. I did like a full whip, and like I felt every like vertebrae pop, and I was like so broken. I just laid there for 5 minutes. And then I felt fine afterwards, but it was like, trampolines are deadly.
Have you ever put soap on them? Oh, that's some Florida shit. We would put like dish soap and wet the trampoline and just slip and slide and like...
Yeah, you put the sprinkler underneath, but never soap. Just to make it more deadly?
Yeah. Yeah, we would do the sprinkler under it too. And I had a friend who was super skinny, and she like her leg fell like in between the springs. We got like a pool for it. We were like renting a house, and my mom got him like an above ground pool because he was like so good in the pool. Yeah, she really like mom of the year, like would do anything that she thought could help him.
No.
And the vaccine thing, that now I remember. Your
mom's anti-vax?
No. Oh, okay. Could you imagine? Even though I get like,
she's like, no, the COVID's not real. Hilarious. We're not getting, he's not getting vaxxed again.
Yeah, and then he just gets malaria. No, we both got the vaccines when we were little. The whole argument of like, oh, it's the vaccines. It's like, well, we got the same ones.
My mom lost my records, so I had to get revaccinated.
Oh shit!
I have every childhood vaccination twice.
That's hilarious. So now you're double. And we're also 10 months apart, which at one point was thought to like be a causer, but then that was ruled out by like more studies.
Yeah, because then all the Irish people would be all autistic.
Right. Well, that's what's so funny.
All Catholic people.
Everyone's like, oh, I'm Irish twins, and I'm like, how many months? They're like 18. I'm like, I'm 10. And they're like, holy shit. It's like, my dad's South American. That's why.
That's whenever some white bitch is like, oh, I'm 35. I'll never have children. You can come in me. I'm like, no, not my Latin. We assimilate too well. We come into your country and take over, and we'll be there. Can't stop us.
My auntie had kids at like 41 and 42, and the kids are fine. It's not like they're like, like.
It's the dad's age, I think.
Oh, well, then the dad was even older.
The dad's age, once you get old, sperm causes autism.
Is that true?
I think, yeah.
I believe it.
I think it's just if a woman can have kids, she can have kids. It's like an on or off switch. But with a guy, it's like, no, your sperm starts rotting.
Sure.
And getting stale and stinky and old.
Yeah, like this mic.
Does it stink?
It smells a little bit like, it's got a funk.
That's not the one I use. Does this one stink?
I also have a crazy nose. Yeah, they both kind of smell like But I'm always like this.
Bad? Not the worst mic you've smelled.
No. I've smelled some mics where it's like fully like toe jam. You're like on a show and you're like, I can't even remember my joke.
Well, there we go. We passed the mic test. Thank you for joining.
Aww.
I hope it was interesting. I hope you learned something. I hope you became more knowledgeable about the Latin race.
I love how you look direct to camera. Are you looking down the barrel of the lens? Look at you.
No, I'm actually looking off to the side.
At the I was just trying to not look fat the whole time. Like me during sex. Yeah, baby.
Is that the move?
It's another old joke of mine. It's like I can't enjoy sex because sex for me is just trying to not look fat for 5 minutes.
Oh. You don't.
Oh, thanks. I'm just Miami fat. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, well Miami's insane.
That was another thing. When you were saying your Sam story, I'm like, wait till he goes. You'll have that moment like every 5 minutes in Miami. It's crazy.
I'll never go to Miami.
Oh, you should. The girls are beautiful.
I know myself too. I'll die down there.
Why? Just from
I'll get wrapped up in something.
Who cares? Could be fun. Live your life. Anyway, sorry. I know you were trying to sign off.
You got any plugs or anything?
Just Irene S. Morales on Instagram, and I was in a movie, and it's on Amazon.
Ooh. You got an IMDb?
I do have an IMDb.
Damn.
Oh my gosh, this is okay. So I was in this movie. It's called Asking for It. It's with Stephanie Hsu, who, if Everything Everywhere All at Once, if you saw that, she's the daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, did you see it? Probably not.
No, everyone told me to see it, and then I waited 3 months and everyone stopped talking about it.
Sure.
Which happens a lot.
Yes,
everyone's
it does.
Like, Dune 2 is the greatest movie ever made. And I'm like, let me hold off 2 months and see if anyone's talking about it.
Right.
Oh, it disappeared. Interesting.
It disappeared into the ether. Well, anyway, so we did our movie called Asking for It.
People are still talking about it.
My movie?
Yeah,
No.
you're right now.
I have an absolute prerogative. What's incentive? So we shoot our movie, it wraps, and then she's like,
No, I'm saying Timothy Chalamet isn't talking about Dune 2 anymore.
He's talking about his other projects because he's fucking running around the West Village being Tim Dillon with
spreading chlamydia?
For sure. Yeah. We did say, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Not that Tim Dillon has done that.
I'm sure he has.
Oh, okay, good for him.
I love Tim.
Yeah, he's a great.
That's like, it's like, do you have any credits? I'm like, Tim Dillon wrote about me once, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
But we wrapped our movie, and then she's like, I'm gonna go work on Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it wasn't the juggernaut. It was
a small indie film at that point.
Well, yeah, we were just like, okay, whatever, enjoy, and then it became this huge thing,
cultural moment.
Exactly. And it occurred to me like 2 weeks ago that I can go on Letterboxd and read about the movie that I was in. And most of it was like, oh, I'm here because it's for Stephanie Hsu. I love her, which is, she fucking won an Oscar. Like, I get it, whatever. And then I read one of the comments and it was like, I knew she was gay the whole time. And they're talking about my character.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, the vibes are there the whole time. But yeah, like I'm gay, but it's not like made obvious until like the end where I'm like,
Did you have to kiss a lady?
No, but I talked about going to see Tilda Swinton. What is it? And everybody loved that line too.
You didn't kiss a lady?
I didn't.
Then how did they know you're gay?
Because I said, because this guy tried to kiss me and I go, no, I'm gay. I would have been down to kiss a lady.
For acting purposes.
Sure, yeah. Ladies rock. I don't have the balls to be gay for real. I
don't think any woman does.
Some women are out there though. Being gay as hell, being lesbians.
I don't think lesbians exist.
There it is. That's what we ended on.
One of my theories is every man is autistic the way every woman is bisexual.
That I agree with, yes.
Because it's like there's not a man who is not a little bit autistic, and there's not a woman who's not a little bisexual.
Sure. Okay. Even though...
That's how they manifest in both genders.
Okay.
In bisexuality or autism.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like a super jock guy, but even then...
They're autistic for sports.
Right.
So like, I got to learn to play. I got to
Yeah, you guys almost do it to assimilate, and women do it. And maybe women are a little bi just out of like survival, because like just of the violence that they felt from men, and it's less from women. Yeah.
Whatever your survival instinct is, follow it. Subscribe to the Patreon, Cowboy Boy, or patreon.com/cowboyboys. Buy the new Bigfoot merch out now, cowboyboys.store. I think all of July, if you use the code Bigfoot, you get 15% off.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
All orders over $50.
Wow.
So buy 2 shirts and get 15% off. That comes out of my pocket. That's a deal for you.
I like that you did this.
Literally,
you did the little act out.
Stealing from me. You'd be a fool not to. How could you afford not to?
It's fun to steal from you.
Subscribe everywhere. Follow Irene only on Instagram. Nowhere else.
That's the only one that matters.
You're
what
not
are the
on
other
Threads?
What did Nathan McIntosh write the other day? He goes, I come to Threads when I just want to scream at myself.
Oh, I log into Threads once every 6 months and be like, this shit's still going? All right.
I log in by accident. You know how Instagram will fool you and they'll just like put a thread in the middle of your feed?
Thanks.
Yeah, the little
X, Twitter forever.
Weenies.
I'm going down with that ship. All right. Thank you for joining us. That's the pod. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.